Welcome to the Devils You Know Holiday Edition. It is Christmas Eve, 11:36 p.m. That means Santa. I believe last time I heard he was like over Greenland somewhere. You know, are you watching the Santa tracker, everyone? I don't know. Anyway, first of all, BrickCityHockeyApparel.com. First thing I want to do. This is the Meadowlands Arena shirt from BrickCityHockeyApparel.com. Use code JOINTS for 20% off. That's a lot of percent off for a new company. Who he's actually not making money. He's kind of in debt. You know, doing giveaways, trying to get his name out there, doing the right thing, and I'm glad to help promote him. But of course, we have to get into our facts and trivia, because that is what we're going to do. We don't want to talk about the game against the Islanders. The Devils couldn't score. Markstrom couldn't make the right saves. We are going to get into it, because now I got things to say. Markstrom. Here's something that I put up on X, and I deleted it because people didn't understand the context, I guess, of how I put it up there. I put it up, it said, question with a Q, and then the question was, do I believe the Devils would definitely have won the game against the Islanders if Jake Allen was in net? And then I put A, answer, no. Then the second one was, do I believe the Devils had a better chance of winning the game, from the outset, if Jake Allen started this game against the Islanders? Answer, absolutely. Now, the reason why people were like, well, the Devils need to score goals, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? They didn't really need to score goals. If Jacob Markstrom didn't decide to come all the way out, just like Vitek Vanacek when Nico Daws gave him that dirty look, and you've seen me post that picture of Nico Daws, that dirty look. He's looking at Vanacek wondering, why are you all the way on the boards and you're our bench? You're the goalie. And this is what happened with Markstrom. He came all the way out when there was a player skating towards the puck. There was no reason for him to leave his crease. And he gave the puck right to Holmstrom, whoever it was, who scored. I gave him the goal. And he can make 1,000 saves in a row. Great ones, bad ones, easy ones, hard ones. But then if he does something like that, he just makes me not like him. He makes me think Jake Allen would have stayed in the net and it would still be 1-0 Devils. It makes the Devils lose. No matter how much he keeps them in the game, he also gets them out of it with no points. By not even on a power play, letting one of the softest goals I've ever seen go for the Islanders to take the lead with, I don't even remember, too little time left. I mean, that was a Jake Allen save. If you deny that, you're lying. Jake Allen definitely saves that. Any day. 2 years from now. Question we have to ask. Now, of course, as usual, this is the Devils You Know, and you know that I am all over the place, so I will jump from topic to topic. But whose fucking stupid idea was it to sign Jake Allen, who's the same age as Jake Markstrom? They're both like 67 years old. To sign one of them for 5 years, Jake Allen. Okay, the better one in my opinion, objectively, in reality, but I'll say in my opinion, allegedly. No, I want to use the word allegedly. 5 years? And then Home Alone Kevin, who was on the screen at the restaurant tonight, frozen, watching me, Kevin McAllister. extending Jacob Markstrom for another 2 years after this season. This is a season where he should be dealt at the deadline to a team that isn't in the playoffs. Like, he should be given to another team so the Devils can bring Dawes up, because he's a much better goalie. He's a much better, much more reliable, has a better record, in my opinion, amongst the Devils fans with playing, winning, having more. The kid won a Stadium Series. He was the only one who had a shutout all last season. The Devils, who made the playoffs, had no shutouts but one. And guess who had it? Nico Dawes. So, you know. Wait, what, is that true? Because Jake Allen was last year not this season, but the season before was the first year of Utah. Because we were at the first Utah loss, and it was also the first time they got shut out, and that was a Jake Allen shutout, or was it a Markstrom shutout? It was one of the two old guys. I know that. So I'm gonna, while I look that up, I'm gonna ask you, who did the Devils get in return? Devils versus Utah, first shutout and first loss for Utah. Also, it was their first loss. Let's see. That was October 14th. Jake Allen's 20-save shutout. Goals from Seamus Casey. Yes, it was one of the rare Seamus Casey goals I was at. That was the first, actually, his first goal in North America in the NHL, because he scored 2 over in Scooby-Doo land, wherever the hell they were. So when the Devils shipped Mike Rupp out to Phoenix, by the way, Phoenix, yes, the Coyotes were named the Phoenix Coyotes at one point. Who did they get in return? And I believe this happened in March of 2004, which really sucks because in 2003, Mike Rupp was a rookie. He was very instrumental in the playoffs and the Stanley Cup. He scored in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Jeff Friesen had 2 goals. Mike Rupp had 1 goal in the 3-0 shutout for Marty Brodeur. His third shutout, his third home shutout, his third 3-0 shutout of the series. But no. He did not get a Conn Smythe trophy. It was given to Jean-Sebastien Giguère of the, at the time, Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. And we all accepted that they would call themselves that, and we wouldn't make fun of it. We didn't. But you know what? I did go, and I have the programs right here below, in this laptop case below me. I did go to the Arrowhead Pond at the time, and I pissed in that pond. And I'm not going to lie. I was, young guy, 19, whatever it was. And we didn't have cell phones with cameras. We didn't have did we have cell? Yeah, we had cell phones, but we didn't have cell phones with cameras and stuff like that. So I had my Canon. I don't know. I'm not a photographer, but I did take photography class, so I had this nice Canon camera. So there are pictures of me peeing in the pond that my ex-girlfriend Helena from Woodland Hills. Hello, you were there. You took the pictures of me pissing into the Arrowhead Pond that kind of, I guess, surrounded the arena in a way. I forgot how it kind of goes, but anyway, that's the Mike Rupp question. Free agent, Washington Capitals, September 1993, September 30th. Who did the Devils sign as a free agent from the Capitals? Now, I'm going to give you a hint. He played for the Bruins beforehand. He has a name that sounds like a guy who would play for the Bruins. He's a Devils legend regarding, first of all, winning a Stanley Cup. Also coaching, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. His name, of course, Bobby Carpenter. And I found a great card. Do I have the cards up here? Where are the cards that I just found? They're in here. I found a great Bobby Carpenter card. And I'll pull the lights up if I can. They're not in this one. I have cards all over the fucking place, and you know, if they're worth anything like this, honestly, I just took this whole set. I mean, I know you can't see much on my screen. This O-Pee-Chee 92 Premier set. I just took a bunch of cards out of there for a very specific reason, and I'm wondering, where did I put them? Because I needed to scan them and log them into. I mean, you guys don't care about that kind of stuff, but where did I put? Oh, I know where I put them. I hid them in this wallet. This is the funniest, stupid thing I've ever done. Look at that. And there's Bobby Carpenter. Let me put the light on. Bobby Carpenter, Bruins. This is the original 6, Premier 92. As you can see, there's a John LeClair Montreal card. Oh, I just dropped Jeremy Roenick, Blackhawks. Now, that's Bobby Carpenter with the Bruins. I guess I'm going to go through these now with you. Hold on. Let me make my screen a little bigger. I don't care if I'm covering things up. All right, let's go back to Bobby C. I have not penny sleeve these yet. So this is a 1992 O-Pee-Chee Premier, Bobby Carpenter, Boston Bruins. It says, what does it say? Has their regular season champions, what years? Stanley Cup champions, American Division, East Division, Adams Division, Prince of Wales Conference champions, and then it says pictured on front, Bob Carpenter. Great jersey. I guess this was the 75th anniversary, so they were wearing jerseys like that, as you'll see in this next one, Jeremy Roenick with that Chicago Blackhawks jersey. Now, this is a couple of seasons into Jeremy Roenick's career, but it's a pretty good card, pretty cool card. I didn't think much of these cards were worth anything, but they are. So you know, they're all in mint condition. Obviously, they're not in penny sleeves or anything, but they're also are only being handled I know how to properly handle cards, and they're all going to be sleeved after I'm done here. Especially this, there's a couple of rookies that are very surprising. I didn't know that they were rookies. But this Jágr card, this is a sophomore year Jágr card. So sophomore year cards are very popular in the market. Even right now, Macklin Celebrini second year cards, just regular base set cards are great. Like the Upper Deck Series 1 Macklin Celebrini, the one where it's kind of like all him, like there's no ice in the background, it's just his jersey and his face. That one, I have 2 of them. That card's already, you know, worth a couple bucks. And the Celebrini rookie cards I have are excellent. This is a Sergei Nemchinov Rangers rookie card. I had no idea. It says right here, the year before he played 46 games with 21 goals, 24 points, 24 assists, 45 points in 46 games with the Soviet Wings. So this is his first season. Back, it's the rookie card to me. Vladimir Konstantinov of Detroit. Now you'll see another original 6 team wearing. They did the throwback to this recently. This is also, I believe, a rookie because he was with the Central Red Army, USSR, the year before. Vladimir Konstantinov in 1995. This is also a rookie card. This is Nicholas Lidstrom, who played in Sweden the year before. So, regarding Vladimir Konstantinov, he got injured in a car accident during the 1995 NHL playoffs. They ended up playing the Devils, and the Devils, won and stuff. But the Konstantinov, story was out there, and it was just really sad altogether. I think other players were involved. I don't remember the exact details, but Patrick Waugh. At this point, this card was made. He had played 289 games, and 779 goals against, only 13 shutouts, 16,695 minutes played, and goals against average 2.80, which is not bad for that time. Mike Richter rookie card. The year before he played. Oh no, this isn't a rookie card of Mike Richter. This is a sophomore Mike Richter card. Games play 45. Yeah, so it's basically his sophomore card. Mike Richter, OPG 92. I'm sorry for the listeners, people who listen to this on Spotify. I totally forgot about that, to be honest with you. When I start seeing cards, I go crazy. Darian Hatcher played for North Bay in the OHL the year before. That's a rookie, Darian Hatcher. Now, look, I love this Whalers card. I love the player, former Devil, Pat Verbeek. Beautiful Pat Verbeek card. I wish I had the Darren Pupa card in this set so I can get it signed by him. I'm trying to get an interview with Darren Pupa, so look for that coming soon. Joe Sakic, captain of the Nordiques. Great, beautiful card. If anyone wants any of these cards, let me know. Some of them are worth a few dollars, so I can't just give some of them away. I do give away a lot of cards, ask anyone, but Mario Lemieux. 453 games played at this time of this card being made. Wearing that beautiful Penguins jersey. I love that Lemieux style jersey. Whatever you call the gold on the arms reminds me of Lemieux's, just Lemieux in general. We got a Grant Fuhr Toronto card. I'm going to skip past that. And also, I'm going to skip past this Joe Newdick. Well, it's kind of early. 319 games played. Not early. But, Joe Newdick did win a Stanley Cup in 2003 with the Devils. Phil Housley with the Jets. Very far into his career, but assistant or alternate captain for the Jets. Kevin Stevens. Very hard to talk about Kevin Stevens. His story is really sad. I don't know what's up with him these days. I wish him the best. I hope somebody goes and helps him out. Try to reach out and help him. Someone in the hockey community. I know they have before, but try again. Give the guy a break. It's hard for him. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is a rare Adam Creighton for the Islanders, right? He was with the Blackhawks the year before. I'll show you the card real quick, and I'll explain to you why I'm holding it. In the year he played for the Blackhawks the year before, 72 games, 51 points. Not bad, Adam Creighton. I don't know if you ever heard of him. I only know of him because he was on the Islanders, and I was a kid living next to the Coliseum. But he did score 22 goals and 29 assists, 51 points for the year before. But what is cool is this is the 20th year anniversary of the Islanders, and if you look closely, right there on their shoulder, they have that 20th anniversary patch on their shoulder. The Islanders are one of those teams, kind of like the Devils, where you don't really often see things on their jerseys. Obviously the ads are there now, but Islanders also always, except for the, of course, the Fishermen. Islanders usually, up until more recently, just kept it very simple, kept it the way they wanted to keep it. This Cam Neely card also is one of my favorites. It's worth 15 cents. But to me, it's worth a lot. I love cards like that. And all of those cards came out of here. I also have a whole set of Eric Lindros rookie... I don't even know what to call them. Look at that. Kirk Muller. Right before he won the Cup with Montreal. Right after the Devils dealt him. Alright, so let's get back into a little bit of trivia or facts. And then we'll get out of here. How about that? How about we do that? So, let me unlock myself. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about when I say that. But I don't think it really matters. All right, so let's do a little trivia. Which player scored a goal in each of the first 3 regular season games in New Jersey Devils history in 82-83? And this guy's got one of the coolest names of all time, and it goes underrated because he's an old player from the early 80s. Merlin Malinowski. Merlin scored the first 3 goals for the Devils. Well, not the first 3 goals. What is it? Scored a goal in each of the first 3 regular season games. So Merlin scored in the first 3 games against, once against Pittsburgh, once against the Rangers, and I forgot what the other one is. Skipping forward to 2011. Anton Volchenkov, the V Train. He earned his 100th career point in a 4-1 victory against the Carolina Hurricanes, and we love to hear that. At the RBC Center, we also love to hear that we won there. He assisted on a first period goal by Brian Rolston, who was making his second appearance as a Devil after being, of course, 1995 Stanley Cup champion with the Devils. And Brian Rolston, we all know, is a legend. Him and Bill Guerin, almost synonymous with each other. I would say Bill Guerin and Brian Rolston, people could almost like get them mixed up. Like I almost thought that in my head I was just thinking about Bill Guerin and the Islanders, and then Brian Rolston, and there's just so many Bruins. Like there's so many similarities. Bill Guerin, of course, doing big things right now. Let's talk about facts. We'll stick with 2011. March 22nd, 2011. Jacques Lemaire coached his 500th regular season game with the New Jersey Devils. A 4-1 loss against the Bruins at TD Garden. Lemaire, who also coached 656 games for the Minnesota Wild. Never forget that Lemaire was the coach for the Minnesota Wild, the original Minnesota Wild team, and he stayed there for a long time. Much respect for a guy to go in to a new team like that and stay and coach. I just give him a lot of respect. We love Jacques Lemaire. That's why he's part of the Ring of Honor. Johnny Mack, of course, going to be in the Ring of Honor this year. Anyway, he became because the 656 games with Minnesota, he became the second coach in NHL history to reach that mark with two teams, the 500 career regular season coach team with the Devils and the Wild. With two teams joining Scotty Bowman, who did it with Montreal and Detroit. July 19th, 2011. It was the summer. The Devils named coach Peter DeBoer as the 16th in team history. Love Pete DeBoer. I am a big Pete DeBoer fan. And speaking of Pete, in 1995, December 6th to be exact, Peter Sikora of the Devils became the fourth rookie in team history to score 2 power play goals in one game during a 4-2 loss against the Montreal Canadiens at the Montreal Forum. Peter Sikora. Now, here's a trivia question for you. The Devils won the Stanley Cup, the 1995 Stanley Cup, and I'm going to end it right here. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. On December 6th, 1995, Peter Sikora became the fourth rookie in team history to score 2 power play goals in one game during a 4-2 loss against Montreal Canadiens at the Montreal Forum. Did Peter Sikora play the year before for the team that won the Stanley Cup? And that's the question, because he could still be a rookie and played a few games the season before. Do you know the answer to that question? Was he in the playoffs for the Devils in 1995? Do you know? That also brings something else up that I actually wanted to touch on. Let me read that again. Peter Sikora of the Devils became the fourth rookie in team history to score 2 power play goals in one game during a 4-2 loss against Montreal. I don't know. I had some thought. I don't really recall what it is. Which New Jersey Devils player scored the overtime goal to defeat the Bruins 1-0? Oh, I'll never forget this. In Game 4 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals, May 12th, 1995, at Brendan Byrne Arena. What player scored that goal? Are you ready to tell me? Are you ready to tell me before I tell you? Come on, who was it? Who was on the 95 Devils? Bobby Olik? George Chambers? Tommy Albany? Sergei Brylin? Andy McKay is the answer to that question. Thank you for being here. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. I'll probably be back before then. But also below, if you're on the Substack, check out the donation link for my rescue dog Nico. He needs a lot of help. We took him in, a lot going on. We'd appreciate any help that could come our way. So thank you for watching or listening. I'll talk to you soon. Oh yeah, and let's go Devils. Can't forget that. Peace.